Let's see, Tom, talk to Kiara.
Hi Kiara.
Hi Tom.
Love your green dress.
Lovely.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
that natural? Okay. The brief asked for a contemporary alternative to Coogee.
A modern take on the mall bin, the classic mall bin.
I felt like for this bin, the brief was fairly open. Like it could have been anything. It could have been another round bin, or we could have gone geometric, or we could have gone triangular. Like there was a lot of options. Oh my gosh, that sounds really bad. But there was a lot of kind of opportunity to do something really interesting within limits, obviously.
For the bin to act as a canvas for some fresh new perforations. So we really wanted to work on that and bring that to our offer, probably something that we haven't flexed as much as we were. So that was a really key item. In the end, it works as a great canvas for perforations, but it's also a really nice bin without the perforations. So I feel like we've kind of kicked a goal quite well there, that if the bin doesn't have perforations, is it still a really nice bin? And to me it is. Bin, we didn't start with any particular materials or processes, so it was purely a sketch process. We knew that we wanted it to act as a canvas for perforations, so having surfaces that allowed that, so I guess areas of unbroken surface were really critical to kind of getting those perforations on. But really it started as a genuine, just kind of open-ended design exercise from a concept point of view.
Sitting down and bouncing ideas off one another was really fun, and kind of ending up with a sort of hybrid of our two ideas was really nice.
The cleanliness of a lot of the Scandinavian design, they're able to achieve these really clean forms through quite simple designs that aren't fussy, but there's just something about them, you linger a bit and you go, it seems so simple, yet it's just really well done. And a lot of that's going to come down to proportions and elements like that. So we probably use that as a fairly key kind of factor or contributor into our inspiration. We knew that we had some capacities that we wanted to hit. Being a mall bin, you're working to around the 80 litre mark, so we knew that was dimensionally a scale that we're working with. We knew that whilst it was going to be a mall bin, we wanted it to have suitability to be taken outside as well. So there are some elements of external bin design that we wanted to factor in, from durability, suitability to the elements from a material performance point of view, and then protection from the elements and birds and scavengers and things like that. So having a hood over the top was part of it. But yeah, that's how we started. Having a design that worked well for both indoor and outdoor. I know it sounds kind of quite simple, but how you access the inside of the bin to remove the liner and change the rubbish, which is something that happens frequently. So really considering the people that are going to be changing it and making sure that it was going to be easy for them. But the way in which you change the internal bin classically and how you change an external bin are quite different. So trying to achieve both of those functions on effectively the same frame was probably one of our big challenges that kind of we spent a good amount of our time on.
The difficulty for us is as soon as you move away from like a really simple rolled body, things start to become more expensive. And so obviously there's an expectation that we needed to keep it at a similar price point. So trying to figure out what we could do to make it interesting, but keep it at a similar price point.
We learnt more about hinges. We know a lot about hinges, and we just continued to further our understanding of hinges.
Anytime that you roll or you bend something that's perforated, there's a possibility that you're going to get a little bit of distortion. Typically with our rolled perforated bodies, it's not hugely noticeable. And we did find with the spin that with the pressed bends at the corners, that the distortion was a lot more than we'd anticipated. So
yeah.
So I think to mitigate that, we're going to be reviewing the placement of the perforations so that we're not in that bend zone.
A couple of new assembly techniques as well. So really wanting to make this bin as easy and effective to assemble when we're making it in the factory. So a couple of new fasteners that we've worked with to achieve that. Innovative about this bin for B&G is the way in which we've given the bin its framework or its structure. So kind of like the backbone of it that it kind of acquires its key strength from. We've gone down a completely new path from a B&G point of view, but have been able to take a structural feature and turn it into an aesthetic feature of the bin. You know, that gives it part of its uniqueness. So yeah,
the way that we have flipped the ribbon base, and it's quite a simple thing to do, but I love that it means that you can play around with powder coat colours and you can have like a dual colour bin, and I just really love the character of the bin, particularly with the hood on. So I think it's just got a really cool vibe to it and a bit of personality. It's probably
my favourite thing about this bin is it's probably that framework. It's kind of recessed, but it adds a really clean detail. That when you work with various finishes to the body panels and the frame, it's a really subtle element that's going to kind of give a nice little bit of wow and kind of create that uniqueness that we wanted to, you know, and bring a more contemporary take to the maul bin. I think it's interesting how the frame has been part of how we've achieved that. What I'm proud of achieving with this bin is its effectiveness at both an indoor and an outdoor bin. And I like the way that that's going to be able to give our clients the ability to continue a design theme indoors and out. So it could be at a school, you're able to have a consistent design aesthetic that runs from both indoor to outdoor spaces, or a shopping centre that runs through the mall and then extends out into the car park, that we're able to kind of offer that up so that you get that connection between the spaces.